It's hard. It is. I get it. Starting DayZ can sometimes feel like you've been thrown in the middle of a field with no clothes, no food, no shelter, and for some strange reason there are people who want to eat you. But this highly tense survival situation does encourage the odd mistake. But here I'm going to go through the most common mistakes beginners make so you don't have to make them. If you like the video, please leave a like or a subscribe. It really helps me out. You have no idea. I'm in my own field. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Oh, there's a young girl in the bathroom. I am not that kind of streamer. You want Mr. Disrespect. So starting out, the first mistake is something every beginner does. It's forgetting to bandage wounds in the heat of the moment. Bleeding can happen for so many reasons. Mostly as a beginner, you'll suffer bleeding because of the infected when they randomly hit you. And while trying to escape, it's easy to forget that you're actually bleeding. There is an indication on the screen here and also here at the bottom. Just get into the habit of always double checking after an encounter. Next, and this one is a weird one. You need to learn how to close doors. And what I mean by that is there is a sweet spot on the door you need to hit when you're trying to close it, and when you're being chased by the infected as a new player, you can mess up and then run into a building, not close the door behind you thinking you have, and then get swarmed by the infected. Indoors for newer players is the best way to hide from the infected, so make sure you can open and close a door. It sounds ridiculous, I know, it's a door, but you need to learn to close that door faster than if somebody was trying to spread the word of God. Next is a subtle segue. It's actually engaging directly with the infected. Beginners often think that they need to clear areas of the infected to explore safely, but this just isn't true. Fighting them head on can cause injuries, waste resources, damage your gear when they hit you even when you block, and attract more infected and eventually knock you down. Try to maneuver around the infected if you can. If you must fight, use melee weapons to minimize the noise and aim for their head to take them down quickly. Then we have another common one, eating raw or rotten food in their desperation. Eating food like this can cause severe illness, making you weaker and more vulnerable than you already are. I know it's difficult when trying to find food and you find something and it's not really edible and you think maybe it's worth the risk. As a beginner, it probably isn't. Always try to cook food if possible, when possible, or eat food that is safe, such as fresh food, dried food, tinned food, and so on and so forth. Next is not reloading weapons, which sounds weird, but it's just a thing that doesn't happen, especially with shotguns, pump action shotguns. In between every shot, players tend not to reload or pump it, which means they get attacked or ambushed or whatever else, and when they go to fire the actual gun, it doesn't go off. This is also true for bolt action. Just remember, in DayZ, it's fine to be a one pump jump. Next is something that is so easily done, and it's done by many people, especially beginners. Drinking contaminated water, again in desperation. Drinking unsafe water can lead to severe illness. Always drink from wells or cans, and never drink bottled water if you find it. Empty it and refill at a well. This is like my number one tip I always give in almost every single video because people still make this mistake. Next is not really learning the controls or organizing appropriately, and what I mean by this is you have a quick menu for a reason. Put the things you use most in there because every second in an encounter counts. It's really weirdly worded. Practice basic actions like swinging weapons, using items, and interacting with the environment before heading into a dangerous area. Throwing items, zeroing a gun, hiring and lowering mic distance, and stealth kills are all things you should be used to. Seriously, this will save your life more than once. Next is not putting any time into learning any craftables. DayZ has an entire complex system filled with craftables you can use. It's intricate, it's complex, it's great. And you don't have to learn everything, just learn the basics and then go from there. Make a stone knife, make rags, make a fireplace, craft rags, make gloves, make more rags. I like rags. These items can significantly improve your chance of survival, and they're so easy to make. And all you have to do to learn it is to just click this video here to learn almost every single craftable DayZ has. Or for something else, click here. And as always, until next time.